Friday night, live. I'm going to put it in air quotes because we are now, tonight we're live to tape and with a slight delay because this cast is just so troublesome. You don't know what they're going to say. I might have to bleep them. I don't know. But it is live improv from New York City on a Friday night. And I have Beth Ann, and I have Sandi, I have Dawn, I have Taj, I have Heidi, I have Barry, and I have Victoria. We're all from either New York or around the world. We are an international cast. Hey, we're going to get things kicked off with a game called Goon River. Now, Goon River is a very small town, and today we're going to tell you about a very big event in the life of a small town. As a matter of fact, it was the day that one of their own that left Goon River and became a famous celebrity. They came back to accept the key to the city that day. And something very interesting happened that day. But what is the name of that celebrity? Who was the celebrity that came from Goon River?
Tommy Jenkins.
I'm sorry, who was that again?
Tommy Jenkins.
Tommy Jenkins. Is that a real celebrity? Is that a real person? Because I don't know.
That's his real name. I'm not giving his stage name out.
Oh, okay. Give me a celebrity. Give me a celebrity that's a celebrity. What's
Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton was originally Tommy Jenkins. Interesting. Little Tommy Jenkins had a little bit of work done and came up and became Dolly Parton. So little Tommy Jenkins, AKA Dolly Parton. Is it Parton or Parton?
Parton.
Parton? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm writing it down. Ladies and gentlemen, we take you now to Goon River. Residents of Goon River, first I would like to thank you for coming here today from where you are right now and telling us about that day when little Tommy Jenkins, that's how you knew him, we knew him as Dolly Parton, came to town to accept the key to the city. Let me start with you, May June, because you were the one that really remembered little Tommy Jenkins. Tell us what you did in Goon River and whether you were for or against Dolly Parton getting the key to the city.
I am the music director at the elementary school. And to find out that back to town, oh my goodness, I could not stand it. I was so excited. I could barely stay in class. I just couldn't stand it. Couldn't hardly breathe, and I couldn't hardly teach. I definitely couldn't teach, but I was definitely for her coming back.
Oh, it sounds like you will always love her. That didn't work. I tried, and it didn't work. All right, I hear you, Victor Murdoch. Am I saying your name incorrectly? Victor.
You're never saying my name correctly. How come you don't? It's Victor Murdoch.
Oh, it's so much easier to say than it is to read. Murdoch.
Okay, it doesn't matter, all right? Just, it's fine.
Tell me what you did in Goon River.
Well, I'm the physical ed teacher also at the school, elementary school, and I remember very well, indeed, actually, Tommy Jenkins, who is now Dolly Parton.
Oh, yeah. So were you for or against giving this person the key to the city?
Against.
Why? Everybody loves Dolly.
That's right, and that's the reason why. If we give her the key to the city, she's going to get like a big head.
Well, she's already got big hair, so she's got the hair for it. All right, let's...
Glad you went where you went.
Let's talk to you. El Meltel. What a lovely name, El Meltel.
Oh, thank you.
What did you do in Goon River?
Well, I am a local EMT.
Oh, that's cool. So how were you going to be affected by the coming of Tommy Jenkins, a.k.a. Dolly Parton?
Well, they put me in charge of crowd control because they expected riots of fans.
Sure.
And if something happened, I'm an EMT.
Oh, so were you for it or against it?
I was against it. I can't take care of those crowds.
No, that's way too many people you're probably an underfunded department.
Absolutely. It's just me.
Okay. Lex, am I saying that right? Lex Les?
Yes.
What did you do in Goon River?
Well, I'm the manager at the local drive-in, the Riverside Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really, really excited to have Tommy Dolly come and join us because Tommy Dolly has agreed to do a celebrity appearance one time only. Last Saturday night, she appeared and we had an amazing run, a repeat, I guess you call it, of movies that featured Tommy Dolly. So it was a banner night.
I noticed that you're always saying Tommy first. It seems hard to remember that that's Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We go way back. So it's really nice to reconnect with Dolly. Dolly.
Tolly. Let's call her Tolly.
Dolly, yeah.
Dolly.
Tiffany Blackburn, do tell all about what you did in Goon River.
I was the Goon University cheerleading coach.
Oh.
And we won competitions all over the area. And I am so excited because Tommy Dolly, as they are known here, did a fine job back in the day wanting to be a cheerleader. And I was a cheerleader at that time at Goon University. So therefore, we were the impetus for the change to the more sophisticated look.
Blossoming.
No.
That's lovely. That's nice to know that you were part of that. I'm sorry, Anita. I see you there. You're rehearsing or something. You're Anita Mann. What did you do in Goon River? And what's going on? You're rehearsing singing, I think.
Well, yes. My vocation, my day job is the town librarian, but everyone knows me in town as the queen of karaoke, and in particular, Tommy and I go way back. We came up together, and I could always sing circles around her.
Oh.
And in recent years, I was a Dolly impersonator. I made quite a little following in the town and surrounding towns.
How wonderful. That's terrific. But let's get it straight that you are a librarian in the daytime working 9 to 5.
Exactly. Very good.
Thank you. I do Dolly Parton puns. It's a niche market, but it's something. Excuse me, Eddie McArnery. I've noticed that you've written everything down as people say it. Can I ask what you do in Goon River? It's a little suspicious.
Well, certainly. I'm the publisher, and I'm the editor, and I'm the journalist, investigative reporter for Goonie Gazette.
Oh, that makes sense that you'd be writing everything down. That makes sense that you'd be writing everything down. Were you for or against Dolly getting the key to the city?
I heard you, and I hired Tommy Jenkins as my copy boy.
Your copy boy.
He was my copy boy before she made it big.
Oh, so does that mean you're proud of them and want them to have the key to the city, or think they're a punk and shouldn't have it? Say that again, please.
Absolutely. I'm for it.
Okay, I'm not sure where we are with that, but I'm going to leave it with it.
The Goonie Gazette has endorsed it.
The Goonie Gazette has endorsed it. Okay, good. Excellent. Now, I want to ask about the day before, just the day before the big event, when everybody was getting ready. Let's start with you, Anita. You must have been getting ready to perform an act or something. What were you doing the day before the big Dolly event?
Well, that was a sad day for me because all of my gigs following that day had been canceled.
Oh,
People decided we have the real thing coming to town, so they just didn't need me anymore.
you're kidding me. That's a bummer. Okay, so all your gigs got canceled. What'd you do after all your gigs got canceled?
Well, I did sing my final gigs that day, so in a way it was bittersweet.
Oh,
It was the end of an era for me.
sad day, sad day. Tiffany, tell me about the day before. The day before.
The day before, I had all the cheerleaders lined up in the field. And Eddie, the publisher, was taking notes, and his photographer was taking pictures because we were posing. We did pyramids and we did tumbles and we did all kinds of things because we were going to lead the parade welcoming Tommy Dolly back to town. And we were just getting ready, and I was just so excited. But then, Victor, he was leading the protest with the people that did not want Tommy Dolly back in town. They were just hanging signs, and they were interfering with all my cheerleaders, both the guys and the girls, and they were just twirling and tumbling and pirouetting and cartwheeling through the streets. And then Victor kept getting in the way with his signs.
Wow. Okay. So a lot of conflict there. I'm going to check in with both those guys. Let me start with you, Eddie. Eddie, tell us about the day before, because I understand there was some conflict between Tiffany and Victor.
If we got the call, I was working the city desk at the time. I work every desk because I'm the only employee of the Goon Gazette. What am I going to do? So I got the call, and I immediately stopped my typing. I stopped the presses, of course, and I ran down to make sure that I could cover it because I'm the photographer too. And so there they were. There was a real tiff going on with Tiffany, and I just the pirouettes were just unbelievable, and I did a photo journal op of all of the girls and the boys that were taking place there. But she was wild. I caught her on tape.
Wow, really interesting. Okay, I'm going to check in with Victor in a second, but first I do want to talk to Lex Les, who had that background and relationship with Tommy Jenkins.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I was so excited to sort of build buzz for this big event, that Tommy Dolly was going to appear at the Riverside Drive. So I was running around town, just trying to build the fever, So I went and I actually saw Tiffany and her crew out in the field, and I was like, I was asking them if I could hire them to come and like do some headstands and all that crazy stuff beforehand. And then Eddie was there, which was really fortuitous because I was like, Eddie, you got to cover my event, So I was trying to hire him to come on in and just get the message out. And I have to apologize, Anita. I know your regular Saturday night gig opening for the drive-through is something we really, really appreciate of you. But I hope you understand we had to bump you for Tommy Dolly. It's just, so yeah, I was just trying to build buzz.
wow, she does not understand. She's quite bummed out, by the way. You might want to check in with her, wherever.
I'll call you, girl.
Let's check in with El Meltel. El Meltel, it's a fun name to say, by the way. Tell me about the day before the big giving away of the key to the city. What were you up to?
Well, the day before was exactly why I did not want her to get the key to the city. It was chaos. I was picking up cheerleaders who'd fallen and busted their knees and elbows. And then there were the protesters that were having the conflicts, and I had to break them up all by myself. And then Eddie and his photography was just getting in the way. It was just getting in the way. And then Anita was fine. Poor Anita. We feel bad about Anita missing her gigs because she is quite fun to listen to.
Really?
And
it's terrible that she lost out on her gigs.
yeah, yes.
All right, let me check in with you. May, June, Tell me about the day before. It sounds like everybody else was in a big kerfuffle, but you're so sweet and innocent. I'm sure you weren't up to anything. Go ahead. Tell us what you were doing.
My sweet children were totally ready, totally on point. And when I heard about poor Anita, of course I went over to her and I said, you need to come and sing with us. You know, everyone knows, anyone who knows Tommy Dolly knows that love is like a butterfly, and we need to be more colorful and more flamboyant and more out there and more inclusive and more loving and trusting. And with the cheerleaders dropping and the poor paramedics having to take care of them, I'm like, you know what? My group has got this. We are going to be at the front of the parade and we are going to be out there. And I was talking to Lex and I said, you know, we can help you out. I know we're not quite as cool as handstands, but we've got this. We can come out there and help you. So that's what we did.
That is lovely. Now, I saved you for last, Victor, because you seem to be a catalyst for a lot of the shenanigans that happened the day before. What's your side of the story about the day before the key to the city went to Dolly Parton?
Now that it's over, can I tell you the truth? So we had the anti-protest march.
Sure.
And we had all of the best magicians and musicians and so many others that were not from the high school. They weren't even from this town. No, as a matter of fact, they were from the other town 10 miles down the road. Now, the only person who knows what really went on is me and Anita Mann.
What?
Because I had Anita Mann take over Tommy Dolly, and she was the one who did the performance, not Tommy Dolly.
I am brokenhearted. All right. I'm disgusted. Let's talk about the day of the event, the day of the key of the city going to Dolly Parton, and the unfortunate event that happened. If you feel like you're comfortable talking about it, Lex, you seem to have the best grasp on what was going on in the town, aside from maybe Eddie. What happened to you?
Okay, so the day was starting off so great. You know, Eddie had agreed to cover the event. Tiffany and her crew were getting set up, you know, just to do their pyramids and headstands. And Anita, bless her heart, you know, she'd given me a little bit of a thumbs up. She understood, you know, I really appreciate that, Anita. So I was just getting set up in front of the screen. And I was just straightening all the little streamers and banners. And I knew the parade was just wrapping up. So, you know, Dolly was going to come in and, you know, cut the ribbon on her own event. You know, it was such a big deal. And so all of Tiffany's crew is in the pyramids and they're all up. They're like three high. They're like triple decker amazingness. And this wind just came out of nowhere. It just through, and her crew just started weaving and wobbling, and they just started going one at a time, just falling down. And we're called the Riverside Drive. We're really close to the river's edge. In fact, like city bylaws probably should have shut us down years ago, because it's just a little bit like a one earthquake and boom, we're in the water. So one tumbler smacks into me, tumbles down the cliff, and I am up Goon River with no paddle.
I would think if you spent that much time beside a river, you'd eventually learn how to swim, but that is just so sad. All right, Victor, you've caused a lot of trouble in this town. What happened on the day? How did you know?
Well, as I told you, Tommy Dolly was actually not Tommy Dolly at all. It was actually Anita. Anita Mann was Tommy and Dolly. Followed circle. They were in the middle of the protest. right? The protest march, I had, if you will, Tommy Dolly come in, but Tommy, he actually is not, of course, the Tommy Dolly that we had talked about before. Because Tommy Dolly is now actually Nina Mann. And Nina Mann is actually now going to be performing at the drive-in again, right? And indeed, actually, Lex Les doesn't even know that Tommy Dolly is actually connected to Nina Mann. However, what happened was Eddie came over. Eddie indeed actually had written down and also showed me that he had all the evidence against me and Tommy and Dolly and also Eddie Mann, and he ended up just knocking me in the head and killed me.
Okay. That makes sense. We got that all down, so that's good news. Anita, we all thought you were so sweet, and it turns out you're part of this big plot. Tell us what happened to you that day, you know.
I was assassinated.
What?
I was a victim of my own treachery. You see, I thought that it would be my crowning glory to convince everyone that I was just as good, if not better, than Tommy Dolly. So I went up there and I sang my heart out.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was, Jolene was in town.
Oh.
Jolene never got over the fact that Tommy Dolly ruined her reputation with that song. And so she pushed me into the river, knowing that with all the generous ballast I have, I would sink. And this was not real. Mine were actually, I should have used balloons. That would have been good. I could have floated. But I used bean bags. And they just sunk like stone.
Down they go. Oh, that is so sad. Although it was good to see Jolene again. El Meltel. What? I just love saying your name. What happened to you on that day? How did you get,
Well, actually, I slept in. I missed the whole performance. And when I woke up, there was such chaos with people floating down the river. And I was half awake and not really conscious. And so I just dove in. But I had all my clothes on and I had boots on and they filled up with water and I went down too.
Wow, for a town on a river that's that close to seemingly everything, I would have thought you guys would learn how to swim or always wear safety flotation devices like water wings. But no.
We had every kind of teacher at that high school except for a swimming coach. Every kind of teacher.
I know, we had music and
a librarian and a gym teacher, just no swimming.
Right, no swimming.
I could swim. I was down. The problem was I hit my head on a rock.
Rock at the bottom. Yeah, that's not swimming, that's sinking. But you know what? Yeah. I hear you. Swimming is hard in rubber boots.
And also, I forgot to mention Jolene drugged me. I could have swum, but she drugged me. And then I got drugged down in the river.
Drugged and drug. I get it. Tiffany, tell us what happened on the day with you and your cheerleaders.
Our cheerleaders, we worked so hard. And Eddie was taking our pictures. We were practicing. And, all of a sudden, we had our pyramids. We had our lifts. We were having the fly girls. And we had one little fly boy, and it was just great. So when this wind came, and it just, these are like, just because they're in college doesn't mean they're not itty bitty things. They are itty bitty things, because I know I was one of them. And Elle came and she tried to save them, but then I saw my friend Lex, who just is not only just a super fan, but Tommy Dolly's oldest friend. And my friend, I just couldn't bear it. I tried to go in after her. But Victor, he was causing all sorts of a riot. I was just like, Ellie, you save the children. I'm going after Lex. And Victor's like, no, no. And those protesters came with those sticks and the signs and they pushed me. And then the next thing I know, I got stabbed. I started swimming to Lex and I got stabbed in the back all the way through by one of those protest signs. And Eddie was there recording it all, photographing it all, because then they're going to just get Victor at the end.
Wow. So stabbed while swimming. That's an interesting variation. The one person that appears to be able to swim in this town got impaled while doing it. We really should put like a lid on that river, like Tupperware. May, June, tell us about what happened. What happened to you?
So I need to start this off saying everybody got exactly what they deserved.
Oh, yeah, it was an interesting town. Yeah.
They very much did. My choir practiced for a year ahead of time on just the rumor that Tommy Daly was coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
We offered to be part of the hoopla that Lex was throwing on.
Mm-hmm.
She totally disregarded us. We tried to help out Tiffany with her cheerleading.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. We offered to let Anita come sing with us. No, she wanted the spotlight. That wind they kept speaking of,
Mm-hmm.
those are my children. And I'm very proud of them. And I'll tell you what, I was so proud of them. I went to turn around and give them all a hug. And that's when the protesters all came at us and I got trampled. But I didn't quite lose sight of the fact that there was one protester that got ahead and actually threw their sign and impaled a swimmer. I didn't catch who it was, but now I know.
It was Tiffany, yeah. So you got trampled with your windy children. Okay, that makes sense. Now, Eddie, being the publisher of the newspaper, I had really assumed that you would have survived this whole mess. But what happened?
Well, you could tell I've got a bit of a drinking problem. Had it for years, even when Tommy was my copy boy, and I was close to Tommy. I really like them. I'm using that new pronoun thing now, called them and their and they and stuff like that. But I couldn't I saw all this mayhem happening, and I just couldn't remain neutral anymore, as my own journalistic instincts have taught me.
Sure.
And I'm telling you, I saw right through that thing that Victor and Anita were trying to pull.
Okay.
Got so pissed off. You know what they say in us journalistic circles, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Uh-huh.
So that was it. I was just irate, and I took Victor out. I didn't know what came over me. I was in a drunken stupor, and I backed up. Victor fell, and I backed up as far as I could go because I was just so distraught with what I had done. And the big scissors they get to cut the ribbon went right through my neck. That scissor was like 6 feet long. Almost took off my whole head. Went right through. I couldn't get back to the presses.
I told them to get ceremonial scissors, not real giant scissors. Oh, well, then thank you so much for telling us about that fateful day that Dolly Parton got the key to the city of Goon River. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause, because you're watching Friday Night Live Improv from New York City and around the world. And we're going to be back with more improv for you. That is, Victoria, that was really disturbing. We're going to have more improv for you in just a few more months. You hang in there.